So
What you got here?
this is what I found at Cairo Novelty this morning.
Oh my God.
There is a Cairo Christmas. You guys are the second and third people to have seen this in 70 years.
That's right.
It's maybe the finest one of these I've ever found.
And that glows.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nice marble.
Welcome to Cairo, West Virginia, home of the defunct Heaton Agate Company, the Cairo Novelty Company, and the C.E. Bogart & Sons Marble Companies. This is a very small town located on the western foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, situated smack dab in the middle of marble-making country in Ritchie County, West Virginia, just east of the Ohio River. This footage from the year 1999 is provided by Mike Johnson, who was researching for the American Machine-Made Marbles book at the time, some 25 years ago. Filmed 50 years after a destructive flood decimated Cairo, which was founded along the banks of the North Fork of the Hughes River. The population for Cairo at the time of the flood was about 500, and it's been on a steady decline since and is currently down to under 180. But the buildings shown here are still intact, though the businesses have changed somewhat over time. And here's the Cairo Novelty site circa 1998, which shows the remainder of the factory debris still left strewn about the grounds. The building had collapsed a few years earlier in about 1993 or 4 from the weight of a 3-foot deep winter snowstorm. Please welcome Cairo Novelty historian David Tamulevich as he guides us westward from downtown Cairo out to the factory site as it pretty much looks today.
Silver Run Road here in Cairo. We're about to cross the bridge over the Hughes River. The Hughes River, which you can see hopefully down below there, was the source of the great 1950s flood. And it one-lane bridge. You know, all of that Cairo over there was flooded at least up to the second floor. So right down beyond that white van and the green building down there, that's where Heaton Agate was. You come down this road, this was a railroad, and across that bridge, the railroad came down. It's now a rail for trails. These houses on the left, the Hughes River is not 20 yards behind them. It is their backyard. And on the right, up that hill, that's the railroad from town. So the Hanlon home sat somewhere in here. I believe it could actually be where this trailer was, though there was an old home and a church there years ago. And the Hanlons were living here at the time of the flood in 1950. And Oris ran the factory. His son David worked there in high school. And David remembers when the flood came that they had to escape the second floor window, get out on the roof, get in a rowboat, and were rowed all the way across up to the railroad line, which was not flooded. So this was all underwater. Between the hill and this road, this is the site of the Cairo Novelty Company. The actual building is back against the hillside. Well, as you can see, a lot of excavation being done here. I don't know if we can find any marbles, but it's a rainy day. It washes the clay away, so I'm hoping to find them.
All right, it's a good day for some surface scraping. Oh, there's a cloudy day, or part of one. Just working the area around the old factory foundation. Getting pretty lucky with some cloudy days and some plain Janes. A couple of cool souvenirs. Yeah, it's a keeper right there. Thank you, marble gods. These old tree roots are doing a good job of holding in the marbles and other goodies. Yes. Yes, sir. Here we have some of those cloudy days, ice swirls, and a few other goodies all cleaned up, sorted and labeled for display. We'll walk through a gallery here of some of David Tamulevich's finds that he has collected through the years. David first began digging at Cairo Novelty way back in 1995 with the permission of the previous owners, Danny and Gloria Bircher, who sold the site to Daniel Thomas in the spring of 2021. David has dug Cairo over 24 times and has collected over 60,000 examples in various conditions. But these are some of his finest pieces, and his Cairo Novelty collection is very likely the most complete collection in the world. And here's a closer look at the Cairo crocus marbles, which we believe are exclusive only to Cairo. And they're basically glowworms with an extra swirl of opaque blue in the matrix. Alright, so there's that. There's some badass pieces in here for sure. Got them all spread out here and in the sun so we can get a good look at them. This is all mostly just discard from the site. And this is wild. This has like a malachite green color to it. This piece here, this is 2 marbles imprinted into a piece of discard. That's killer score. Some stained glass they were using. We've got some really nice striated pieces of molten glass. That's pretty awesome. This one here is a cloudy day material. Here's another one. I like that. And this. Bunch of half marbles. Here's a half a crocus. That's about as close as I'm going to get to getting a hurricane swirl today. This thing is wild too. I've never seen anything like that at Cairo. I wish that was a full marble. Here's some of the full marbles. Not bad for a little surface scratching. Here we have a nice group of cloudy days. A couple of ice swirls. A bunch of unexpected peewees here. This one is tiny, 3/8 maybe. This piece looks like it probably glows. Nice green there. Some killer Cairo football and egg shapes, including this one. This is a titanium blue. Bottom left, that's a pussy willow there. Yes, sir. So, but really nice patterns here on some of this Cairo Novelty diggings. This would be your more common fare of examples from my personal dug collection. And one thing I do say, if I may, about the flood is that while it was a catastrophic loss for the owners of the factory and their families, and in fact the entire Cairo community, it had become a blessing for marble collectors, since there have only been a handful of Cairo packaged marbles known to exist as an identifications resource. The dug on-site marbles are our most reliable documentation of Cairo marble styles produced. Between the years 2021 and 2023, Daniel Thomas owned the property and conducted a half a dozen extensive backhoe digs throughout the yard. He invited several diggers and marble enthusiasts to take part in the digs during this time frame to share in the bounty. And on behalf of the marble collecting community, I'd like to say thank you very much, Mr. Daniel Thomas.
We've got a pit opened up here, and we've actually found quite a few marbles down in here. I'm gonna start the old excavator up here and do a little digging. Hard to use the excavator and video at the same time. A lot of marbles down in this hole right here. There was anyway, till I got most of them out. Dan here. We're probably 2-3 foot deep right here. Been working on this pocket or seam of marbles. There's a lot of glass collet. It's real tight in here, so you gotta really be careful. But you can see where all these marbles, there was a flood here. Between the flood and silt and stuff coming down off the mountain, you can see where all these got buried in here. So right there, I scraped out quite a few marbles just in this one area. This is probably 6-8 inches across. This is probably 6-8 inches up and down. For whatever reason, whether this was a low spot or what, there is a lot of marbles in this one area here. I wet this so you can see it a little bit better because this clay is ultra hard. Here's some kind of iron piece, corroded iron piece, likely it's from something on the factory. They just keep rolling out back in here. Scrape this off a little bit. And you can see there's a lot of marbles that's right there. Probably 20 that I just kind of popped out.
Between himself and his family, Daniel estimates that he's recovered about 30,000 marbles from the site, along with several unique factory artifacts. So I think it's safe to say Daniel has the second largest Cairo Novelty collection worldwide.
This is May 5, 2022. It has really been savaged with bulldozing and in this front part, this was parking lot. This is where all the marbles were dumped after the flood and covered up. And over on this side, this is towards town. This is the place where I have done most of my digging, finding hurricane swirls and neons and the ivory family. And I think I just found my best Cairo Christmas today. So here's the way it's back to town. So don't know how much longer it will be here.
Daniel has since sold the site in the spring of 2023 to a local Cairo resident. And for those with an adventurous marble digging streak, please take heed. This lot is privately owned, there is no trespassing permitted, and that no trespassing clause is strictly enforced. Here's a few more beauties from the David Tamulevich collection, including some of the fabulous clear-based examples. I'm so glad you could join us on our little tour of Cairo. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe for similar content. As always, thank you for watching Vintage Machine Made Marbles.